Well, good evening, everyone. David Roy, James Scott here in the broadcast booth. We had a little bit of a warm-up open, partially because the most important button for me to push, out of everything else that we had right, it was one button I didn't push. Nevertheless, it's a beautiful Friday evening. I wasn't sure if it was going to stay that way. We came in, we got down here, a lot of cloud cover. The clouds are starting to dissipate. The sun is starting to poke its way through, and it is turning in to be an absolutely beautiful Friday evening here from Westlake. David Roy, James Scott here in the broadcast booth with you as always for a night where Austin High comes into Westlake down in the series 1-0, but maybe not as far back in the district standings as you would think. We'll get into that a little bit later tonight. Most importantly, though, for Austin High is this game here tonight as Westlake. They're down in the series 1-0, but James, we saw this last week. Down in the series 1-0, we didn't necessarily know what game 2 was going to look like against Dripping Springs, but once you got into it, and once the Maroons found their rhythm, game 2 was theirs, and they came away with stealing one against Dripping Springs. Can they do it again here tonight on the road?
Talked about pushing the right buttons, David Roy. The question is, can Coach A push the right buttons on the Austin High Maroons today? Got a little shake-up in the lineup, which is great, kind of reminiscent of that second game against Dripping Springs. So we'll get to that in a second. But to your point, very important game right here. The Maroons are only one game out of that coveted fourth spot for the playoffs. So if we could, maybe we still got to make up for the Del Valley series. If we can get one here, go into next week with Aikens, and we could be sitting in a pretty good spot where we thought we would be maybe at the start of this season.
You talk about some of the changes to the lineup. It may be one of the stories that has come out and has really developed. Of course, you and I talked about, each game is really its own story. But over the overarching story, if you could compare the baseball season, it's like an anthology. It's a collection of the stories throughout the season. One of those major plot lines that maybe not expected or that maybe has developed throughout the course of the season is the emergence not of Fletcher Wilson and Henry Shooter as the premier pitchers off the mound, but rather of Jaden Besa and Jason Martinez off the mound. And the way they have both pitched over these last 2 weeks, we'll see Martinez off the mound again here tonight, cannot be understated just how well they've done.
Yeah, Martinez is going to take the bump tonight, and, man, what a game he threw against Dripping Springs. He was fired up, and I think that game gave him a lot of confidence to take his game off the mound to the next level. I think probably knowing Jason a little bit the way I do, I think he's probably thinking that if he was going to play at the next level, outfield is probably his spot. But, man, if he keeps throwing like that and actually pitching off the mound, it'd be hard not to look at him as a lefty pitcher.
Yeah, I mean, in the way he looked last week, if he can replicate that and continue to replicate that, between him and Besa, and then you add Fletcher Wilson into that mix, we haven't seen him since the tournament, it just creates a nice dynamic that you have three capable starters who can take you deep, three very good and capable starters that can help elevate and can take you kind of throughout. And then you add in the depth in behind that, right? We saw that a little bit on Tuesday night against Westlake, where you saw Logan Kenny took the mound. You did see Henry Shooter, of course, on the mound a little bit as well. Hayden Carter taking the mound. And then you add in, he's not on the mound tonight. You'll see him out in right field tonight. Bodie Martiak, the young sophomore, adds into that. A lot of young depth here to build around that you hope that Carter Hayden and Bodie Martiak can develop to be capable depth relievers and then eventual potential starters coming off the mound. But the future, we talk about Besa and Martinez. Martinez being a junior. Get another year of Jason Martinez as the premier ace for the Maroons potentially if he can keep this up.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that are positive about being an Austin High Maroon baseball player. One of them is if you've got the skills, Coach A has a track record of giving you an opportunity at the varsity level. The last 3 years that he's been in charge, granted 2 full-time and 1, he took it over as an interim. He has played sophomores up here. So if you're a young man trying to figure out which high school to go to in the AISD, it's open enrollment, open transfers within AISD. Just come on over. If you think you can play at this level, Coach A's shown that he'd give you an opportunity.
Yeah, and it's not unearned, right? We talked about it throughout the tournament play, the way that Mardiak and Carter Hayne were able to climb up the ranks and continue to earn their spots. Ames Alejandro being the junior that he is, but another guy that kind of continued to earn and carve out for himself a role within this roster, within this defense, and within this lineup. Of course, you won't see Mr. Alejandro tonight. You did see him earlier this week, though. There's a few other lineup changes, and we'll go ahead and get into those here for you tonight.
Yeah, we've got them right here. So batting first for your Austin High Maroons and catching, number 3, senior James Scott. Batting second and playing first base, number 1, senior Jaden Besa. Batting third and having one heck of a season, center fielder senior number 7, Drew Anderson. Batting fourth and playing third base, number 2, senior Javi Godinez. Batting fifth and on the mound, the aforementioned Jason Martinez. Batting sixth and DHing, number 21, junior Osby Contreras. Batting seventh and playing left field, sophomore Bodie Mardiak. Batting eighth and playing right field, number 11, senior Ty Schreiber. And batting ninth and playing shortstop, number 12, senior Logan Kinney. So from the top, you've got Scott, Besa, and Anderson, Godinez, Martinez, and Contreras, Mardiak, Schreiber, and Kinney.
And, of course, those of you watching at home, you'll see Dane Calvert listed at the bottom of the lineup on your screen. That is largely in part because while he is not going to be starting out in the batting order, you will see him defensively. We'll get into that when we get here into the bottom of the first inning later tonight. Austin High, this is the way it's going to open up here tonight as they're being the visitors. They'll start you off. The top of the inning, we'll see Scott, Besa, and Anderson to get you going and get the early window rocking and rolling here. One of the bigger plot points, we talked about it, is the, I don't know, sudden's maybe not necessarily the right word, but James Scott in a little bit of a slump right now, a hitter slump, as it were. Going to see what kind of a slump buster he can break out here tonight.
Well, limited at-bats here in district play, so he's, 2 for 13. On-base percentage is still very, very high, but, he did go, 0 for 3, I believe, on Tuesday against Westlake. So we'll see what happens here today and see if he can't get us started at the top of the order. I think Coach A is very keen on having him in that lineup. He's the fastest guy on the team, gets on base a lot, so I think he's kind of a key to getting our team and our offense going, David Roy.
Yeah, it's going to be the key to it. Now, we've seen when he can, when you can get on base, and a lot of these guys, all capable base runners. You get Scott on base, you get Anderson on base, Besa, you can get Martinez on base. All these different guys are capable base runners. The problem that the Maroons have run into is being able to maintain and get those base runners on at the right opportunity, right? Sometimes you get them on, but you're already down 2 outs. It doesn't necessarily help the cause as much. You kind of want to see them get ahead a little bit. And maybe, for some of these guys, maybe take a few more pitches than just swinging blindly at them.
Sure. Yeah, plate discipline is kind of what you're talking about, and playing a good fundamental baseball game. If you look back at the Dripping Springs victory, we played a great fundamental baseball game there. We just have to continue to play that way. We did not do that Tuesday. That was a very ugly defensive outcome for Austin High. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So we just got to come out, put ourselves in the best position possible by playing great fundamental baseball, and let's see what happens here.
I gave up 12 runs on Tuesday night. We're able to score 1, but like you said, uncharacteristic is the best way I think of describing the performance from Tuesday night compared to what we've seen from the Maroons over the last few weeks. So when you take that into account, Tuesday night is an outlier. The Austin High has not shown you that kind of defensive struggles and difficulties that you saw on Tuesday. That's been outside the norm. The norm has been holding Dripping Springs to only 2 runs a week ago and holding them, again then to 7 and keeping it close with Del Valle. And so the challenge will be their ability to do that. We'll take a quick break. When we return, the national anthem and the top of the first. On the other side, you're watching Maroon Baseball on the Vibe Live Network. First pitch just around the corner.
My missing teeth were in the front.
I fell off a roof, messed up my teeth.
I would be talking and my tooth would just fall out. That's when I turned to 8118 Dental Professionals.
When I first came in, it was so welcoming.
I just felt a connection, felt like family.
It is worth every penny because you get that peace of mind that everything is okay.
I can't stop smiling.
Why wait?
From implants to full mouth restoration.
Go to 8118dentalimplants.com to see how we can help you smile again.
Welcome back in. Maybe a fun little opening there. The elementary youth coming out to take part in the national anthem here tonight. Top of the first, and first pitch just around the corner, and the Maroons, they want to even the score, want to even up the lineup in this series.
Talk about lineup. Why don't we go ahead and give the Westlake lineup for those keeping score at home. Batting first and playing shortstop, Luke Nagowski. Batting second and playing third base, Knox. Batting third and catching, Armburster. Batting fourth, playing right field, Evan Lung. Batting fifth and playing second base, Holland Page. Batting sixth and playing first base, Jack Castile. Batting 7th and DHing, Quentin Moran. Batting 8th and playing center field, I believe his name is Lance Johnson. And then batting 9th and playing left field, Peyton Luther. So you got Nagowski, Knox, Armburster, Lung, Page, and Castile, Moran, Johnson, and Luther.
If you're watching still at home, the problem is not with your television set, we promise. It is we're adjusting on our end. On the camera side of things, or we're making some adjustments. So promise it is not you at home, but that's okay. Don't go anywhere. You can still listen to us. It's okay. You can hear us out as we get our, see, just as I say that, we get the picture back in order. We're all good here. So we are still rocking and a-rolling. Well, we talk about the Westlake lineup. We'll see them on the other side of things here at the bottom of the inning. And we'll get you started as James Scott will take the first to the lineup. Let's go ahead and get you his stats as we get you going.
He's leading the team in hitting at .417 and on-base percentage at .525. He's got a .1025 OPS, so 20 hits and 48 at-bats. Got 60 career hits for the Austin High Maroons.
Number 3, James Scott.
So Mr. James Scott getting it going. We're ready to rock and roll, and he's going to layer this one in. And swings at the first one, and right away gets thrown out at first. And so the Maroons get things going quickly and sits them down all in the same breath.
Starting first baseman, number 1, Jaden Besa.
Jade Besa hitting .275 on the year with .388 on base percentage. 3 doubles, a home run.
This will be his 41st plate appearance. And he'll start in the count 0-1. Takes that first pitch. Wind up. Besa swings, waves at it as it sails by, and he's now down in the count 0-2.
We have a good crowd filling in here tonight.
Certainly some of these parents want to support their elementary school students out here who perform the national anthem early. As Jane Besa gets down for a base hit, it bounced off the turf and into his face, and Besa considered making a play for second, thought better of it, and wisely so. But Jalen Besa gets on base here first.
All right, we got Drew Anderson having one heck of a season, hitting .414, .541 on base percentage, and .1127 OPS. He's looking good out of that 3-hole.
Wind up, Anderson drives this over to second, the throw to short, back to first, and that'll retire the side. So very quickly, Westlake able to turn the double play, and that will sit you down and get you out of the top half of the inning. When we come back, it's the bottom of the first, and Jason Martinez goes to work off the mound on the other side. You're watching Maroon Baseball here on the Vibe Live Network.
Hi, I'm Jenny Covert. Welcome to Covert Chevrolet in beautiful Bastrop, Texas, where small town values drive big time savings. At Covert Bastrop, we understand what matters to you most. A good deal, great service, and dealing with people you trust. What matters to you matters to us. Rooted in family values since 1909, the Coverts have been serving Central Texas for 6 generations. We want to be your car dealer. Let us prove it. Covert Chevrolet, Highway 71 in Bastrop. Together, let's drive. CovertBastrop.com.
Welcome back in. David Roy, James Scott here in the broadcast booth with you as always. And on your screen right now, the Maroons defensive lineup.
And on the bump, we've got Jason Martinez. This is his second career start off the mound. He's thrown 15 innings, no wins, no losses, even though he pitched spectacularly against Dripping Springs. He did not get the victory because that game went into extra innings. He's given up 18 hits, 9 runs, 7 of those earned, walked 9 and struck out 7 on the season. He's got a 3.27 ERA and a 1.80 whip. So key to Jason Martinez's game tonight is control, keeping the Westlake Chaparrals off balance and hitting his spots. If he can do that, no reason he cannot do exactly what he did against Dripping Springs.
See the numbers here on your screen for Jason Martinez as the Maroons will get looking and rolling defensively. We'll see if Martinez can continue the work that he began a week ago as we bring you in here to the bottom of the first inning live from Westlake. Maroons and the Chaparrals going head-to-head here on this lovely Friday evening, and it will start with Martinez just missing the zone. 1-0 on the count. Martinez from the windup. That one again inside and just off the plate. 2-0 for the Maroon pitcher. So he's trying to work inside, and twice now, just a little bit too far inside for the lefty. Martinez inside again, and this one skips into the glove of James Scott for a 3-0 count. And Martinez will walk him.
All right, not the way you want to start off, obviously, but that does set up the double play. So up the middle, you got Calvert and Kenny, second and short. We've had our fair share of double plays. It'd be a great time to do one again. Austin Knox here. Up. Knox was 0 for 2 against the Maroons on Tuesday.
Here's Martinez. This one gets popped in the air, lifted up for Jane Besa. And he settles underneath it, so that's one away.
Hey, we needed that after a 4-pitch walk. One pitch, one out. All right, so you got Armbruster up. He was 1 for 2, scored a run and drove in one against us on Tuesday. Also pitched a heck of a game.
Martinez lofts this one in, and not sure if he was maybe expecting the runner to take off. The way he lofted that in, it allowed Scott to pop up ready to fire.
Double play still in order here.
This one fires. 2-0 count for Armbruster. Martinez showed out in left field on this field a year ago. Had a pretty good hitting performance that night too, as I recall. He'll come back firing over to first.
Yeah, Westlake does not identify the distance of their fence. It is pretty short, especially over in left field and left center. I think it's somewhere around like 340, which is incredibly short.
Runner on the move. Scott comes up, and he can't make that throw over to second in time. So they'll advance on the steal. And a 2-0 count right now. 3-0 count, rather, sorry, for Armbruster. So the stolen base really takes the pressure off the double play.
Maroon defense expecting Armbruster to pull.
And Armbruster will walk. So the double play gets put back on the menu.
That brings up Evan Lung. He was 1 for 3, scored a run, and also struck out against us on Tuesday.
Scott Martinez going to have an early conversation here. He's walked 2 of the batters, so they're going to have a quick talk and discuss. We do have a courtesy runner in for Armbruster.
You have a number on that by chance, and number 4?
Looks like number 1 from my angle.
Okay. 1 would make more sense since Knox is 4. Nice job, Mr. Roy.
There you go.
1 team, 1 goal, baby.
Martinez selling in from the windup. This one drops in, and that will not be a strike call either. Runners at first and second. With Evan Lung. He'll lift this one. Bodie Martiak gets underneath it. Fires for third. And there's no cutoff man over there. Thinking maybe there should have been. It skips over for Godinez, but he had to leave the bag. And so the run will advance, but that is 2 away and puts runners at the corners.
Yeah, I think in right field, that's actually Ty Schreiber. Martiak, I believe, is in left field. At least that's what I show.
Okay, that's correct.
They are both tall, lean lefties.
That's exactly right.
So from 300 feet or more, it can be tricky.
Well, and I've gotten accustomed to seeing Martiak in right as opposed to left.
Sure.
That's where when Martinez is taken to the mound, that's traditionally where Martiak is at on the field.
And that brings up Holland Page. He was 2 for 4, drove in 1 and scored 1 on Tuesday. This is a big at-bat right here. Martinez can keep them scoreless. After walking the leadoff hitter on 4 pitches, that'd be a heck of an accomplishment.
And he'll come back firing over to first.
You got to see if Westlake's going to put on a first and third play. Might depend on where the count is with Mr. Page. Martinez from the stretch.
This is lifted, and that's a base hit. Anderson could not get to it in time, and so the run will score. Keeps runners at the corners.
Brings up Jack Castillo, 1 for 4 on Tuesday with a run scored.
Number 25, Jack Castillo.
Another lefty on lefty matchup. We had a fair share of those on Tuesday.
And this one floats in from Martinez. Ball 1. And the runner on the move with that pitch.
A little defensive indifference there.
Yeah.
Nobody was in too big of a hurry to do anything. They're just going to focus on this hitter. Understandably so. Johnson over at first with good speed.
Well, and you've already got your 2 outs here, so it's not as threatening as if you have either no outs or only the 1. Still don't want to give up a run here, though. 2 in scoring position. And a 2-1 count here that Martinez is working against. And Martinez slots one in for strike 2. So we've got an even 2-2 count. Westlake with a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the first. From the windup, Martinez, the 2-2 fouled away. Lost to the surrounding trees that Westlake's got filling in their field. Got to wonder how many baseballs are just sitting out there if you were to walk out there on a Friday afternoon. This one lifted. That's a base hit. Martiak able to grab it off the bounce and fits that one in for Kenny, but that is a 2 RBI single.
Now batting for the Chaparrals.
And it is not what the doctor ordered for Austin High.
Yeah, Moran swinging a hot bat, 2 for 2 against us on Tuesday. 2 runs scored, 2 RBI. Also walked.
Two away, here's Martinez. And this one very much upstairs again. It's been a few of those that Martinez, almost like he's floating it over to the plate. A 1-0 count, here's Martinez, fires, Scott, he was ready for it, but he cannot make the throw in time. Came up a bit short, and Calvert was pulled off the bag.
Yeah, he double clutched that one. If he goes the first time, he may have a chance to get him. Depends on his grip. Maybe double clutch because he didn't have.
He didn't like the grip he had on it in the first place, and
that puts a runner in scoring position.
Moran, he's got a favorable count here for him as well. 2-0. Here's Martinez, and the check swing, but it doesn't matter as Martinez able to fit that one into the zone. 2-1 count. This one grounded over to Calvert at second. He'll flip it over to first. And that will do it to get you out of the first inning. But not before Westlake's able to rattle off 3 runs. They'll leave a runner stranded. And the Maroons head into the top of the second looking for answers when we come back. You're watching Maroon Baseball here on the Vipe Live Network.
Horizon Bank, we're from here. With over 100 years of experience serving Central Texas customers and headquartered right here in downtown Austin, we're proud to support our community and the athletes who keep it strong. Stop by any of our Austin and Central Texas locations and see how we can help you meet your goals. We'd love to meet you. Or you can visit us on the web at horizonbank.com.
Welcome back in. David Roy, James Scott here in the broadcast booth with you as always as the Maroons. We get set to go into our 4, 5, and 6 hitters here on the night.
Yeah, we got Godinez, Martinez, and Contreras up. Leading us off is going to be Javi Godinez. 16 games played, hitting .279, .404 on-base percentage for an OPS of .939. He does lead the team with 4 triples and is also tied with Contreras for the team lead with 10 RBI. Scored 7 runs, walked 7.
See the numbers there for Godinez on your screen. And then there they go like magic. Top of the second. The Maroons looking to come up with a response here. Be a good way to get it started. Godinez takes, and that'll be strike one. We'll take again for 0-2. And now Godinez going to have to choke up here. And he'll swing and miss for strike three, and that's one away.
That'll bring up Jason Martinez, our pitcher this evening.
At the plate for the Maroons.
Jason's got a 303 on base percentage.
Number 21.
Driven in 4, scored 4.
Number 10, Jason Martinez.
So Broadhead so far, his fastball seems to be anywhere from 83 to 86. The 86 was the first pitch to Scott to lead off the game. That one's at 86 right there.
He made contact down the line, though, over to first, and the first baseman able to scoop it and make the play. Nice toss back
Now batting for the Maroons.
to your pitcher, and just like that, it's 2 away.
Looks like his off speed is in the low 70s, 72, 73. That brings up Contreras. Contreras hitting 250, 423 on base percentage. Leading the team with 6 doubles. Also tied for the team lead with 10 RBIs. Takes that 87 mile an hour fastball, low for a ball.
Swings at the 1-0 and just got a piece of it. Just enough contact to turn it aside. And a 1-1 count. Swung on and missed. Puts him down 1-2 in the count. And swing and a miss, strike three for Osby Contreras. So 3 up, 3 down for the Maroons here in the top of the second. And we'll see Jason Martinez go back to work when we return here on the Vibe Live Network.
Nance Orthodontics is committed to providing the highest quality orthodontics for the Austin community. Dr. Nance is a board-certified orthodontist and offers Invisalign and braces to create beautiful smiles. Our friendly team is passionate about creating beautiful, life-changing smiles for all ages with the latest technological advances. Patient comfort and happiness are our highest priority. Give us a call for your complimentary consultation today.
Welcome back in here on the Vibe Live Network for Maroon Baseball. We'll be here again next week. Tuesday and Friday games. Austin High at Burger Field. They'll host and play Aikens. And since the two share the field, you'll see them on both ends of the dugout. And it's considered both home and away, even though it's technically a home game for both teams. The home team right now, Westlake, out in front by 3. But still very early, and Jason Martinez trying to settle in here tonight.
You got to get it very fast. Lane Johnson, center fielder, was 2 for 3 against us on Tuesday. Scored 2, drove in 2.
And the windup. This one low. Looking for Lane Johnson. And a 1-0 count. Been a rainy couple days, but that rain has trailed off. And fewer clouds to be seen above us here tonight. So we are thankful for that. It may not surprise you at home, but our tech and some rain would not mix very well together. They certainly do not make for good broadcasts.
That hit him on the elbow.
It just caught him. He'd already worked himself up into a 2-0 count, and this is going to lead to Coach A coming out and having a quick meeting at the mound. Coach A giving the talk to Martinez, just kind of trying to figure out where he's at, how he's feeling, what's going on. You've been in a few of those conversations at the mound, I'm sure. What's probably the message here from Coach A to Martinez?
And it could be anything from, hey, I noticed you're doing this, and potentially tipping your pitches, or, you know, some strategy about how they're going to hold the runner on at this point in the game. Could be anything. Could be, hey, just take a deep breath, you know.
Yeah.
Don't think you have to match what you did at Dripping Springs. Let's focus on pitch by pitch.
Runner at first, nobody out here in the top of the second, or bottom of the second inning, rather. This hit low, grounded over to second, and Kenny got the out at second with the throw to Calvert. With Calvert's throw to first, pulled Besa off the bag. And so that will leave one on, but it does get you the out, so it is not a fruitless venture.
Yeah, that was going to be tough to turn a double play on anyway. The ball wouldn't hit hard enough. So got another opportunity here. Luke Nagowski up. Luke led off the game with a walk and scored.
Martinez comes back, lofts another one over to first. Some pitchers will fire it in there regardless, and Martinez, I can appreciate well, he sees me turning, I'll just lay it in there, no point in throwing some mustard on it. As this one in the dirt, and Scott, not a great jump. Unfortunately, though, the throw from Scott came up a little bit short and bounced up and over Calvert. Fortunately, Kenny was there to back up the bag.
Yeah, Luther had a big lead, and when that ball hit the dirt, he just took off. He had almost 2 feet beyond the cut of the turf. He's got another big lead over there at second now.
Swing and a miss here.
That's one thing that our pitchers need to do better is hold the runners on, give our catchers, whether it's Scott or Contreras, an opportunity to make that.
And usually, too, it's the one aspect that with left-handed pitchers, it's usually easier to be able to do that because you're staring straight at first. When they get to second, no matter whether you're a right-handed pitcher or a left-handed pitcher, it gets a little bit tougher because they're directly behind you. 2-1 count here. As the 1-1 pitch from Martinez just missed. This one able to fit in Legowski thought it was going to stay outside and able to break in over the plate. So a good job for Martinez to even up the count. Two count, and then Martinez will step off the bag. Taking his time here to reset for this 2-2 pitch. One out, one in scoring position. And the 2-2 is fouled away.
72-mile-an-hour fastball fouled off. He's doing a good job changing speeds. Let's hit our targets and let's go hit.
That one. 3-2 count now. They put an out on the scoreboard, and I'm not sure why. I've still got a full count and one out.
No, it's one out. Legowski's still hitting.
Don't know what happened, but that is not what I reflect. This is fouled away. Deep down the right field side. And so the count stays at 3-2 with one out. Martinez taking his time. From the windup, this is lifted. Straight away, Drew Anderson able to settle underneath it and makes the throw to Logan Kenny as a cutoff. And that'll bring up.
Now batting for the Chaparrals, number 4, Austin Knox.
Knox to be potentially their third and final out. Here in the bottom of the second.
Maybe that scoreboard malfunction was prophetic.
It could be. Certainly seemed to be that way. Here's Martinez. Comes back and seems like Mr. Jason Martinez finally starting to settle in here. Fires strike one. And it'll step off. And the 0-1 fires that in for strike two. And so Knox finds himself in a tricky position. Down 0-2. Wind up for Martinez. That one a bit high and outside, working away from Knox. Ball one.
Jason's at 37 pitches, 15 this inning. Be big to get him out here.
Wind up.
Oh.
And he just can't fit that one in. That'll be ball two, so an even 2-2 count.
I couldn't have missed by that much. He tried the back door and didn't get it. 62-mile-an-hour butterfly in there. It's almost like a knuckleball.
Yeah.
Getting a big lead over there at second.
Well, in the conversation, I think, from Coach A, and see Martinez doing that a couple of times where he's lifting that leg as if he's going to go and then steps off back towards second. it's almost when Coach A kind of came out, had that conversation, Martinez has really started to slow down a little bit in his delivery as this one lifted into short center, and Logan Kenny able to range back and record the out to retire the side, leaves one stranded for Westlake, and now Austin High will look to respond. The bottom third of the lineup when we return. You're watching Maroon Baseball here on the Vipe Live Network.
Hi everyone, I'm Gigi for Chuck Nash Chevrolet Buick GMC in San Marcos. We'd like to invite you to shop Chuck Nash, where we combine small town hospitality with a huge selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs. Right now, we have over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from, and a friendly staff to guide you through your purchase. Stop into Chuck Nash Chevrolet Buick GMC today and experience a new way of buying or selling your next vehicle. Hi everyone, I'm Gigi for
Welcome back in Maroon Baseball. Oh, better time to be a part of it as we come in to the top of the third. Westlake has got a 3-0 lead, but Austin High hasn't stopped them before, and we will turn our attention to Mr. Bodie Martiak. He steps in here and misses for strike one. Bodie Martiak, his numbers on your screen. 19th at bat. He's got 3 hits, got an RBI to his name. On base percentage at about 250 right now.
Takes that 86-mile-an-hour fastball down the chute. Overthrew that one at 87, yanked it.
So 1-2 count here for the sophomore. And this one didn't get the call.
Looks like a straight change at 72.
Ball 2, so a 2-2 count here for Bodie Martiak. Wind up, Martiak fouls this one away. Back towards Westlake dugout. So Martiak fighting right now, battling with Schreiber on deck. And the wind up, that's in there for strike 3. And so it will sit down Bodie Martiak looking and bring to the plate Ty Schreiber.
Coming to the plate for the Maroons, starting right fielder, number 11, Ty Schreiber.
All right, senior Deuce Schreiber, Ty Deuce Schreiber, 2 RBIs, 3 runs scored.
He's got a couple of ribbies to his name as well. And the 1-0 pitch. That one looks like it missed. Maybe a bit outside and low. 2-0 count. And the wind up. That one's high and away. So Schreiber now in a favorable position, up 3-0 in the count, with Logan Kenny on deck. And Schreiber shows bunt, pulls it back. 3-1 now is the count. And that one's low and misses, and that will put Ty Schreiber at first with a walk.
All right, bringing up Logan Kenny. He's got a .293 on-base percentage. Got a ribby, 4 runs scored. Started that big rally against Dripping Springs in the bottom of the 8th last week.
Took it on the shoulder like a trooper.
Oh, almost took it again.
I was going to say, he just about took one again. That one might have been a little bit more painful than taking it on the knee to the shoulder. But a 1-0 count. You know, the one thing I like, Schreiber got up 3-0, showed bunt. He's on the move. Schreiber down in the dirt, and he is out of there. So Logan Kenny now at the plate. Needing to get on to give the Maroons back a base runner. And he's worked his way up to a 2-1 count. That pitch high and away. And he will swing at the 2-1 offering. Misses. 4 strike 2. Wind up, 2-2 delivered. And it is low and off the outside part of the plate. So we've got ourselves a full count here for Logan Kenny to work with here in the top of the 3rd. Westlake still leading 3-0. And Kenny will swing and miss at the payoff pitch for strike 3. So far through the top half of these innings, it's been 3 up, 3 down for the Maroons. And that trend is one that Austin High and Jason Martinez would love to replicate as we come into the bottom of the 3rd. When we return, you're watching Maroon Baseball here on the Vipe Live Network.
Almost every day, banking touches some aspect of your life, from growing your business, saving for retirement, or planning for future generations of your family. That's why it's so important to pick the right financial partner. The good folks at Plains Capital Bank have deep roots in Austin, serving Central Texas owned and operated businesses for over 20 years, from commercial real estate to managing your wealth. You can find them at plainscapital.com or call them at 457-7500. And when you talk to them, be sure to tell you that my friend Paul said hello, member FDIC.
Welcome back into the broadcast booth. David Roy, James Scott with you as always. And, of course, our broadcast crew back with us as well. It's Lulu Korn on camera. And Miss Fatima is producing. So a little change up to the lineup a little bit on the back end of things.
I thought you were going to say Fatima having her sushi for the evening.
Well, she is doing that as well, delivered courtesy of Miss Lulu.
Ah. Very nice.
Nobody offered me any sushi, not that, you know, I would probably eat it, but
I would. I love sushi.
I mean, it's been a minute since I've had good sushi.
All right, Martinez starts Armbruster off with a ball in the dirt. Armbruster walked and scored in the first inning.
Wind up this one in the dirt as well for Armbruster. So that'll work him to a 2-0 count. Gets him ahead. And that one's high and upstairs. Armbruster up 3-0. Wind up. That's in the dirt. Armbruster will walk his way down to first.
43 pitches for Martinez, and 18 of those are strikes. So obviously just doesn't quite have the feel so far that he wants to have.
Certainly not quite like he did a week ago, and even in spite of that, right? I mean, we talk about the way things have gone and how every now and then, you know, defensively there's a big inning, and so Westlake had that at the bottom of the first, but in spite of that, still pitching well, and Austin High still keeping this within reach as he comes back and finds his own strike one there. Only a 3-0 game here in the bottom of the third. It's in the dirt. And Scott knows he's not beating that throw.
That big 90 feet right there because it takes off the double play possibility, or the traditional double play, I will say that.
This one's upstairs and inside, 2-1.
Maroons do not have anybody warming in the pen. Besa obviously is burned from Tuesday. So I would think Shooter, Martiak, maybe Ty Schreiber.
Carter Hayden would also still be available as well. Kenny, of course, would be available. Just not sure if you want to pull him out of short. As this is lifted, it will get over Logan Kenny's head. It's a base hit.
Ooh.
And Anderson fires this one all the way to Godinez. But a run will score on the RBI single.
Now batting for the Chaparrals, number 7, Holland Page.
All right, Holland Page, 1-for-1, scored in the first. Oh, and that's going to be it for Martinez.
That's it.
And it is going to be Martiak.
It will be Bodie Martiak who takes his place. He'll come into a situation with a runner on first, nobody out, and a run given up here in the bottom of the third. Martinez looked really good last week against Dripping Springs. Comes into Westlake tonight, pitched overall, I would say, fairly well, just maybe not quite his night here tonight, comparatively, as Martinez will take Martiak's place in the outfield. So we go from one lefty to another. We saw this last week against Dripping Springs, lefty to lefty. And we do have some action here in the Maroon bullpen as Henry Shooter appears to be getting loose with Osby Contreras.
Okay. Well, we got Martiak on the mound. He's pitched 5 2/3 innings so far this season. Started a game. No wins, no losses, no saves. Given up 5 hits, 7 runs, 6 of those earned. Walked 13, struck out 9.
Batting for the Chaparrals, number 7.
It'd be a heck of a time to induce a ground ball double play right here.
You know, seeing the turf all torn up in center field, I can't tell if that's because of the rain or if Westlake's center fielder out there just gets bored. Runner on first here for Bodie Martiak. And this one inside for ball 1. And Martiak fires this one down in the dirt again and inside, much like the same way that Martinez started tonight. Firing again is Martiak, and that's strike 1. So the 2-1 delivered too far inside, ball 3. You think he has the right shoes on pitching tonight?
If not, we know he'll call timeout.
We know he'll call time and jog over to the dugout and get out the right shoes. Last week he ran into that, just didn't quite have the right shoes. As a runner on the move, and it does not matter as that one's upstairs for ball 4. And so that will put 2 on. Runner at second in scoring position, a runner at first. Shooter still working in the pen.
Number 25, Jack Castile.
And Coach A giving some directions to his outfield. And he's got them shifting, expecting Castile to pull. Martinez and Anderson and Schreiber all shifting over to the right. And Castile lifts that one. Not sure where it landed.
Right behind us.
Did it? Okay.
That's all right. I'm here to protect you.
Well, I kind of lost it in the sky here with the net and everything else. It's this light over here to our left. It got me looking. Either way, fouled off for strike 1. The windup, fouled off again by Castillo.
That's a good curveball at 64 for Bodie. Looked like it started at him, broke over the heart of the plate.
Castillo just got underneath it. Enough so to make contact. The 0-2 from Martiak. This one is hit. And thought it might drift foul for but a moment. And it does not. And Dane Calvert able to range back and pull it in for the first out.
Good job of Dane Calvert making that play in the twilight here. Not easy at all.
You got the stadium lights. And as I was tracking it through the air, for a second I thought it was up and coming back. Then I realized it was going out, but I thought it might drift too far right. And in the end, it drifted its way into Dane Calvert's glove for an out. As Martiak put that one too far outside, ball 1. Not quite where I think he was hoping to place it.
Long's got a big lead at second. Enormous lead at second.
And that one's going to miss as well. That one downstairs, 2-0 count. Martiak is peeking over his shoulder, but how much of that, for a lot of these pitchers at the high school level, is more just, I know to do it, as opposed to what I'm really looking for. Sometimes their head moves so quick you have to wonder if they're actually seeing it or if they're just doing it out of reflex. 3-0 count. Wind up. Check swing. Strike 1. Martiak peeks and then steps, and that will force Lung back to the bag. Good job there by Martiak. That one so far inside, ball 4, loads the bases.
Loads the bases for Lane Johnson, who was hit by a pitch in the second, to lead off the second, as a matter of fact.
Now batting for the Chaparrals, number 32, Lane Johnson.
We got most likely play the infield in. Play is going to be to home and then to first. Looks like middle infield is playing back. I guess they're going to try to turn it up the middle.
Calvert is settling back almost into the outfield. This is fouled away to the left.
Well, we have proven that we can turn them up in the middle, so.
It's true. We've done an 8-6-2.
I was thinking more the traditional 6-4-3 or 4-6-3.
Well, you have that too, but come on now. It's down in the dirt. Good block by Scott there. 1-1 count. Martiak fires and finds strike 2. So 1-2 count. Bases loaded, 1 away. Westlake leading 4-0 here in the bottom of the third. Martiak fires this one, lifted. Martinez racing for it. It's fair. And in a diving effort, he cannot grab it. And Logan Kenny finds himself all the way out there. Godinez could not quite make the tag, but heck of an effort. And that will score 2 on the RBI double.
Luther grounded into a fielder's choice in the second. Infield is now in. Godinez hugging that bag at third. Kenny way over at shortstop. Big hole up the middle.
Martiak fires. Just missed for ball 1. Kenny, it looks like maybe took a couple steps back towards second. Still a gaping hole there up the middle if it were to get past Martiak. And that one's high and away, ball 2. And now Scott will come out, talk to Martiak here with a 2-0 count, 1 away, and 2 in scoring position. One of which is 90 feet away from the plate. Martiak sets, wind up, deliver, strike 1. Fires in there for ball 3. Kenny again had reset back towards third. And now Kenny playing backed up a little bit. As a swing and a miss here for strike 2. That'll fill the count. Ball 4 loads the bases again.
He tried that backdoor curveball and just couldn't get it. Couldn't get the call. So this is the 8th man up in the 3rd inning here. Luke Nagowski, 0 for 1, walked and scored. Also flew out to Anderson in center.
So Mariak settles in. The infield has backed up. So first and third in. First especially base it in on the grass. Strike one.
Definitely having a hard time throwing strikes tonight. 73 pitches thrown between the two pitchers, only 32 of those 73, sorry, as a strike, and there's another one.
Strike two, yeah. We talked about it earlier. Martinez, of course, was struggling to find the zone, but in spite of that, still pitching, I thought, fairly well, just having a hard time finding the zone, and it seems to have carried over to Martiak. So not sure if it's something with this particular umpire that they're just having a hard time, or if it's, both of them having two pitchers in a row, maybe just not quite having all of their stuff in full control here tonight, or something else entirely. I mean, the possibilities to it are endless.
It's hard when you're umpiring a pitcher's missing by a lot.
Yeah.
You tend not to give them those borderline calls.
Talk about missing by a lot. That one way into the opposite side batter's box. And so it fills the count again, 3-2. Wind up. This one struck, lifted. Martinez, he can't track it down. That'll start the parade for Westlake. And the throw to the plate is not in time. And so a 3 RBI double.
Don't know that I'd made that last throw home. We had no chance at all of getting that. Now, luckily, we were able to stop the ball. It almost airmailed over Scott.
Number 4, Austin Knox.
So that's a 9-0 game right now here in the bottom of the third. Boy, oh boy.
9 runs on 5 hits is the way it's currently scored in the stadium. Our resident scorekeeper can agree or not.
I mean, you feel for the kids out there. You know they're not trying to throw balls. They want to throw strikes.
Right.
They're just not feeling it right now.
It's just having a hard time, and it just seems to be something about being here or this situation here tonight. Not sure what it is. Not sure if it's something with the mound. Not sure if it's the control. Again, like I said earlier, the possibilities are endless as to what could be causing this, as this is fouled away for strike one.
Boy, you try to steal third in a 9-0 game.
Yeah.
That's questionable. Certainly not an old school baseball move.
No, definitely not. And
They're already in scoring position.
I mean, and in some cases, some pitchers, unwritten rule like that, next time they're up, that's, you gift him one. I'm not sure in today's game that would be approved of. But once upon a time, that was, you did that, you knew what was coming when you came back up to bat.
Yeah, I'm a tweener. I kind of go a little old school, but, you know.
You put it in there just enough to maybe scare them and make them get out of the way. Is that it?
No, if you're going to do it, do it.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
No half measures with
No.
you, is there, sir?
No. I mean, so what I meant is, you know, Bob Gibson, like if you had a home run off of him, he was known to plunk you the next time up. I mean, to me, it's like, well, Gibson, you should have made a better pitch,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Now, if you're watching it and showboating, then yeah, okay, you deserve it.
Yeah.
I don't think stealing third in a 9-0 game is a nice thing to do, quite frankly. And you're already in scoring position, and let your hitters hit.
Yeah, I mean, and now you've got a runner on first, ball 4, and it looks like Bodie Marniak's night is through. And that will bring us Henry Shooter here tonight. And again, kind of, you know, you feel for Marniak and Martinez, who both come in and get that opportunity, and it just doesn't quite go the way that either of them would have liked for it to. It's just, for whatever reason, whatever the case is, whatever the reason is, it just hasn't been, either one of them hasn't been their night tonight.
Yeah.
Martinez will, with the relief of Marniak will retake left field in Martinez's place as Henry Shooter gets set up here on the mound. So Henry Shooter getting set up. If you're watching at home, well, then you might see Henry Shooter's numbers here for you on your screen. He's got a win and a pair of losses.
Yeah, he picked up the win against Dripping Springs.
Yeah, the big win there against Dripping Springs last week. He comes into a situation tonight, 2 on, 1 in scoring position, only the 1 out, and trailing by 9.
Let's roll a pair here.
Coming to the plate for the Chaparrals, number 30, Ethan Armbruster.
And he comes up to face Armbruster.
He's walked both times, and this is the 10th man to hit. So he actually led off the third. So here we are again, seeing him in this inning.
Back where we began, here in the bottom of the third, and Shooter puts that one upstairs, ball 1. So from 2 lefties now to Henry Shooter, a right-handed pitcher.
Give him a different look up there.
And that one just off the plate, 2-0 count. Shooter fires, and the 2-0 fouled away.
If you're wondering about Fletcher Wilson, he's got some arm discomfort, so he won't be back until maybe a week from today.
2-1, check swing here. That one just misses ball 3. A 3-1 count here. Shooter fires. This is fouled up. And back here towards the football stands behind us. But it will bring us to a full count here for Armbruster. Shooter fires, and that is fouled away. So we will do this again. Wind up, and it's in there for strike 3.
And a double steal.
That's exactly right.
Coming to the plate for the Chaparrals.
But Maroons pick up their second out. And so Evan Long steps to the plate now. 2 now in scoring position here behind Shooter. Long at the plate, Shooter fires and gets a big wave there from Lung to put him down 0-1 in the count. Just wind up, Shooter fires. This is lifted. Schreiber tracks it, snags it cleanly, and that will stop the bleeding, leaving 2 stranded. But it's a big bottom of the third for Westlake. They rattle off 6 and take a 9-0 lead as we turn to the top of the fourth, and with it, the top of the Maroons lineup. When we return, you're watching Maroon Baseball here on the Vibe Live Network.
After a tough game on the diamond or a strenuous day on the job, relief from those aches and pains is waiting for you at Somanos. Kiko is a certified flexibility expert and wellness practitioner who provides comprehensive bodywork, mobility coaching, and intentional breath work that allows the body to relax while relieving pain and alleviating injuries. Somanos offers a variety of therapeutic services to fit your needs and not hurt your budget. Relieve pain and increase your quality of life with Somanos. Move better, feel better, live better. 512-800-3064 or online at somanosbody.com. Somanos, proud supporter of Austin High Baseball.
Welcome back in here live from Westlake. David Roy, James Scott here in the broadcast booth. The sun has set, the lights are on, and it's Friday night baseball, and Westlake is in full control tonight. They've got a 9-0 lead built up. 3 runs scored in the bottom of the first, 6 in the bottom of the third as James Scott takes to the plate for the second time here tonight.
Looks like we have a new catcher for Westlake. Birds in. So infield back, if you're James and you're trying to get on, might want to think about pushing it down, pushing the bunt down first base line.
They'll take here.
Off speed at 69. Both the second baseman and the first baseman are back on the what would be the grass.
You got shortstop back there all the way too. Only third base is playing in on the grass of the infield.
Yeah, certainly don't want to go down third baseline if you're thinking about bunting it. Just push bunt it with your speed. Should be able to beat that out.
A swing and miss at the 2-0 pitch.
Broadhead has faced the minimum. Bases singled, but was doubled up in the first inning. Ground ball double play by Anderson. Schreiber walked, caught stealing.
Ball 3 here for Scott, so he may end up getting on a walk at this rate.
Don't jinx him now.
Well, there you go. He'll foul it away. And we've got a full count. Well, if he doesn't get on, then we can say it's my fault. And you can blame me for jinxing it. Full count. The wind up, the pitch. All right, well, that one's my fault. I'll take it. Strike 3. And it's one that froze Scott. Didn't swing at it.
Now batting, number 1, Jane.
And that'll bring up Jane Besa. Wind up, pitch, check swing. And ball 1. One-0 count. And that one fires and is outside, so 2-0. And you can make it 3-0 now. So Besa most likely going to take here on the 3-0. And that's exactly what he'll do, and he will get walked and put on first.
Drew 0 for 1 this evening. Did ground into that double play in the first inning. By the way, we have a Red Jacket sighting.
Okay.
We do have support. They are loyal forever. Red Jackets are in the house tonight. Made the short 3-mile drive over to Westlake.
That's right.
I'm sure the boys appreciate that support.
Anderson will foul this one away and into the netting here behind home plate. Quick throw here back to first. Not that Besa was getting that much of a lead off in the first place. Oh, 1 count. And strike 2 here for Drew Anderson. So he'll take the 0-1. Two delivered, but it's a bit high. Just over the top of the zone. 1-2 count. Pace of play has really slowed down here as we're into the top of the fourth. Westlake taking their time. 1-2, fired. And that one just off the plate again. So a 2-2 count. And Anderson strikes that one back towards second, who drops it. And that will get Anderson on, advances Besa over to second.
That's Page's second error of this series. Unlike him, usually a very sharp glove. He kind of played that one interestingly. He took a step back. That one may have had some funky spin on it.
He backed off, tried to cradle it against his abdomen, and then proceeded to drop it.
Dr. Roy here with the abdomen.
There you go.
Opposed
Well,
to the
I
stomach.
mean,
Well, I like it.
You know, he as he was cradling, it's almost like he dropped it, but he turned away as if he was fumbling to get a grip on it and just could not. Whatever the case, we will not look a gift horse in the mouth, and we will take having two on as Godinez lifts this one back to him, and Page will make the play to record the second out here.
That was reminiscent of the Dripping Springs infield fly.
Yeah.
But I did look over at the second base umpire. He didn't call it, which is interesting. I mean, if Page drops that ball, Anderson's a dead duck because he's at first base.
So Henry Shooter working right now. 0-1 count.
Shooter leading the team with home runs with 2.
Check swing. They're going to say Shooter did come around. So the 0-2 here. Strike 2 for him. 2 away, but 2 on. Wind up. That one just off the plate.
At the plate for the Maroons, number 19, Henry Shooter.
So ball 1 here for Henry Shooter. Stays alive. Has Contreras on deck in behind him. And that's in the dirt for ball 2. Two count. 2 on.
You got Nagowski over there blocking Besa. Interesting.
And Shooter puts this into the gap. And Besa gets the call, and Coach A changed his mind a couple times. Initially told Besa to stay, then gave him the green light, then threw the red light back on. It changed so fast. But the bases are loaded now for Osby Contreras.
Looks like we're going to get a courtesy runner. I believe that is Charles Dice. Courtesy runner for Shooter. Broadhead at 53 pitches. It's just got to be a meeting of the minds here.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. Just how do you want to play this and making sure everybody's on the same page with bases being loaded on how to go about this. So Osby Contreras at the plate, Bodie Martiak on deck. What an opportunity for Osby Contreras here. 2 in scoring position.
Be a good way for him to break that tie with Godinez on the team lead for the RBIs.
It would be a great way to do it. Should be a great time for him to tie Henry Shooter for home runs as well. And, of course, you know, he'd clear the bases, get a grand slam out of it. I wouldn't say no to that either.
Well, you're not asking for much, are you, Mr.
Well,
Roy?
you know, hey, speak it into existence, right?
Okay.
And, you know, if you build it, they will come.
Okay. That's what we're hoping to do with the baseball field at Austin High.
There you go. We can do that with your support. I know it doesn't seem like much, but like, subscribe, it helps us. Wind up, pitch, swing and a miss from Contreras. Puts him down 0-1 in the count. Wind up, fouled off. Contreras down 0-2. I'll be smart here. Broadhead, the wind up. And great vision there by Contreras. Didn't bite at the bait. The 1-2 count. Here's a wind up. Contreras lifts this. That's going to get down. It's a base hit. And so one will score. And so does another. It's a base hit double.
It's a single. He's still at first, but he scored two. Maybe that's
he did
where
score two. That's what I'm talking about. Sorry.
Okay.
2 RBI single. That's what I meant to say. That's what I was going for.
Okay. I thought I missed something for a second.
No. I apologize.
Hey, kind of like what you said. If you speak it into existence.
There you go.
At the plate for the Maroons, number 24, Odie Marniak.
And Martiak will take this one just on that inside corner for strike one. And check swing, Martiak gets a call. Did not come around, so ball one, evens the count. And Martiak just a bit behind there on the 1-1 delivery. And there for strike two. And check swing does not reach across. That one on the other side of the plate for a 2-2 count. And there, Martiak will swing and miss, and that'll be strike three. They'll leave 2 on, but Osby Contreras with a 2 RBI single gets the Maroons on the board. They trail by 7, 9-2, as we turn to the bottom of the fourth when we return. You're watching Maroon Baseball here on the Vibe Live Network. Welcome back in here to the broadcast booth. David Roy, James Scott here on the call. You look at the numbers. And the Maroons, they're on the board here, top of the fourth inning. It's picking up 2 runs scored on 3 hits here tonight. Westlake, 9 runs scored on 5 hits. Of course, Austin High was helped out by an error there in the top of the fourth. But now you talked about it. We talked about it in the break. We have a pitching change here. As in comes Carter Hayden. Got his numbers here on the screen for you. No wins, no losses. But a 2.9 ERA and a whip of 1.35 for him on the season. And this one gets fouled away as Carter Hayden gets going here in the bottom of the fourth. So the 0-1 count. Hayden from the stretch. And strike 2. So we've gone from 2 lefties now to 2 righties from Shooter to Carter Hayden. And that one just a bit inside, ball 1. The 1-2. Gets some disagreements on the call, but it is currently ball 2, so an even 2-2 count. And this is fouled away on the 2-2. And that one's going to be behind.
He's keeping him loose up there. Don't dig in on him.
Keeping him busy for sure. The battle continues here. Some more cries of disdain.
Now batting for the Chaparrals, number 25, Jack Castile.
Umpire may be giving James some comments on where Carter is missing. That would be mighty kind.
That would be something that I don't think he would say no to.
I mean, what, 2 or 3 of those pitches were incredibly close. So
exactly,
maybe they just, maybe he just tells him, hey, it's off by a little bit here, or there, or low, or I see him here.
This one struck, lifted, and Schreiber able to track it down. Turns and makes the throw.
That's a nice play by Ty Schreiber. Way to go, Deuce. He ranged way over there in right center field to make that play. Almost up against the wall.
Yeah, certainly back there to the warning track and able to not only make the snag but turn and make the throw, and just not quite, they couldn't get on the same page necessarily or turn it quick enough to try and make a play back at first, as the runner had to reverse course. And on the move here, James Scott will drop this. And so he will make that all a moot point anyways.
I think that one hit the turf.
I'm not sure if it hit the turf or if I thought maybe Scott got so excited he saw him breaking for it and thought I can beat him this time, and he dropped it as that is struck cleanly. Logan Kenny.
Holy Toledo, what a play.
Sliding across the turf of the infield to make the grab and the throw back to first to record the second out. Runner does advance to third, but Kenny, what a play.
That was elite at any level, much less high school.
Sliding back towards the bag, scoops it off the ground with the glove, and able to change hands, and again from a seated position. Second time we've seen that from him this season. Able to whip it down to first for Jane Besa to make the tag and the out. And Carter Hayden comes back with a strike. Has a runner 90 feet away from scoring, as this is fouled off. And with the 0-2 count, want to see Carter Hayden attack. And the Maroon faithful here, they want to see him do the same.
We're talking about opportunities early. How about Carter Hayden's opportunity?
Exactly right.
He's contributed a lot to this team for such a young man, playing against some of the best talent in the state and competing very, very well.
Carter Hayden fits that one in, but just misses off the plate for ball one. The attack just missed a bit too far inside and a bit low. The 1-2, this gets lifted. And Martiak tracks it down, and that will retire the side and keep the run from scoring. So the Maroons, Carter Hayden and Bodie Martiak do their part, aided by an impressive play, maybe even play of the year thus far, by Logan Kenny defensively. And the throw back to first. Score remains 9-2 as we turn to the top of the fifth inning. When we return, you're watching Maroon Baseball here on the Vipe Live Network.
At Horizon Bank, we're from here. With over 100 years of experience serving Central Texas customers and headquartered right here in downtown Austin, we're proud to support our community and the athletes who keep it strong. Stop by any of our Austin and Central Texas locations and see how we can help you meet your goals. We'd love to meet you. Or you can visit us on the web at horizonbank.com.
Welcome back to Westlake. Just on the west side of Austin.
It's west of the lake.
That's exactly right.
They weren't very creative in that one, were they?
Well, you know, sometimes you don't need to be the most creative to be tracky. You know what? They made up for it by going from being Westlake to Chaparrals as the mascot there. So, you know, you kind of make up for it on when the mascot name a little bit. It's a little bit more original than just being, you know, the Westlake Dragons or something to that effect.
I got you.
Top of the fifth inning, and Ty Schreiber gets you started by fouling one away. Wind up. This one in there. Ball one. So an even count here for Schreiber. That one's a bit high. Just over the top of the zone here, 2-1. And the 2-1 fired in there for ball 3.
Ty walked his first time up in the third.
Now who's jinxing it?
Good point. Didn't even think about that one.
Strike 2.
Don't put the pressure on me here, David Roy.
I don't know. On Tuesday night, your jinx was working to our
That's
benefit.
true.
So, maybe I should be encouraging it. See,
Hey,
there we go.
So
It
the
worked.
jinx does not work for me. It only works for you.
It's only a jinx if I do it.
That's right.
Okay? So the broadcaster jinx is alive and well in me here tonight because, to your point, Schreiber is walked on a ball 4. And that puts a runner on first.
For Logan Kenny.
See if we can't continue and just kind of pick up where he left off. Time called here on ball 1, and so we'll now have another meeting out at the mound.
Broadhead's only at 69 pitches.
Gave a chance, though, for Coach A to come over, have a quick chat with Kenny.
Broadhead looks pretty frustrated with himself.
The wind-up, pitch, and it seems like the little word between Coach A and Logan Kenny was to give him the bunt sign. 2-0 count, though. Broadhead, the wind-up, pitch, and Kenny trying to push that down the first base side. But it is fouled off, strike 1. Just bounced its way down the line. Two-one count.
If you get it down, you got to get it down first base line. Third base is way in.
Kenny's going to try it again.
There
He
you
will
go.
successfully lay down the push bunt. And that throw to first is in time. Schreiber got a bit aggressive. Ooh, and a missed opportunity perhaps.
Yeah, it kind of saved us that Castile made a bad throw because Schreiber way overran second base.
He overran it almost. It was almost like he was trying for third. And then he scampered back to second. Castile overthrows it. And then Schreiber was just,
Now at the plate for the Maroons,
I think,
number 3,
frustrated that he
James.
didn't keep going as a result of that. But in either case, Logan Kenny's bunt puts Schreiber in scoring position here for the Sarge. And he will lift this one over to second base. And that's 2 away. Brings to the plate Jaden Besa.
For the Maroons, number 1, Jaden Besa.
Base is 1 for 1, singled and walked.
Check swing here from Besa. Good take, ball 1. A 1-0 count with 2 away. That one does find the zone for strike 1. And Schreiber still holding at second. Maroons trail 9-2 here at Westlake. And that one's downstairs below the zone. Brings the count to 2-1 here for Jane Besa. And I'm noticing a common trend, which is the removal of their gloves here tonight. Besa is a third one I think I've seen not wear batting gloves.
Talk about old school.
I know, no kidding. Osby Contreras' hit was without gloves. The 2-2 count here. This one downstairs brings the count full 3-2. 2 away here. Runner in scoring position is Schreiber. And the payoff pitch. Besa drives this over to short. The throw to first is in time. And that will retire the side. So the Maroons had a runner on, but they'll leave him stranded. And they'll head into the bottom of the fifth, down 9-2 when we return. Watching Maroon baseball here on the Vibe Live Network.
Ready to turn your vision of the perfect space into reality? James Gonin knows that great design is where it all begins. With a passion for creativity and years of experience in both residential and commercial architecture, James knows how to bring your ideas to life. Whether it's your dream home or the next big commercial project, like the new baseball field for Austin High, James Gonin will make your architectural dreams a reality. More info at jamesgonin.com. James Gonin, architect and proud supporter of Austin High baseball.
Welcome back. Here from Westlake, David Roy, James Scott here in the broadcast booth with you as always. Lulu is on our camera on the other side of the press box here. The angle look from first gets a good look as well at second and third. And of course, Fatima sitting here running the show for us. We've missed our broadcast crew over these last couple of weeks.
That we have.
As Carter Hayden, he is not missing picking up where he left off at the bottom of the fourth as he comes back. It's them to swing for strike one. And then comes back, does miss his own for ball one. This one struck, lifted, Schreiber tracking it, snags it, and that's one away.
Coming to the plate for the Chaparrals, number 2, Luke Nagalski.
So up comes Nagalski. And Coach A having a conversation out here with the umpire. I'm not quite sure what that's for. Doesn't seem like there's been any other significant changes.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
This one struck. Kenny fields it cleanly. Throw to first. Missed. It bounces into the dugout of Westlake. Coach A comes back out and calls for time. No, that's
Coach
Coach
Rocky.
Rocky
Yeah.
coming out here.
Sharks out there trying to take a bite of something. It was hot. A lot of chameleons out there trying to change up anytime something new comes along.
So we're going to give Austin High the air in the stadium.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It's air on the throw.
Of course.
So Carter Hayden coming into this game tonight, and I think it's only improved. His strike percentage is 63%, and his first pitch strike is 62%. So talk about some of the difference, but in just tonight, for example, he's working ahead in the count, and that's been a consistent pattern all season.
Being on the attack. By the way, the air does give up an extra 90 feet, so runner at second. As Carter Hayden works back, strike one. Wind up. That one just off the plate to the outside, and a 1-1 count. Runner on the move, and that one's too far outside, bit too low. Scott cannot come up in time to try and make a play on it. And Carter Hayden, I don't know that during that sequence really took a peek back at the runner once. As Carter Hayden misses the zone again. So a 3-1 count here. And it's ball four. So puts runners at the corners. For Carter Hayden.
And that's going to be Ethan Armbruster again. Armbruster 0 for 1, has walked twice and scored.
This struck over to Javi Godinez, and they'll call it foul. Godinez was ready to fire until he saw the umpire.
How about a ground ball double play?
I'll take it. I won't say no to it. As Hayden fires, and they will steal first. Steal
first.
second, sorry. Steal from first.
Yeah, that's going to go down as a wild pitch because it hit the dirt.
Dirt, yeah. They'll take advantage and run on that. And that will take off the easy double play. Could still find a way to turn to, but it becomes a little bit trickier now.
That's like your favorite 8-6-2 double play.
There you go.
The everyday double play.
This is fouled off towards the football field and brings the count back to an even 2-2. That one struck, gets past Dane Calvert. He wasn't going to be able to reach it. And so two will score on the RBI double.
Yeah, he smoked that one. No doubt about it. So 11-2. Westlake 1 run away from putting this game away. 10 after 5 is the Texas high school baseball run rule limit.
Only one out and a runner in scoring position for Evan Lung. And he will take here against Carter Hayden. Strike one for Lung. This one lifted. Schreiber tracks it, fields it, and that's one more away. So 2 away, runner in scoring position.
Number 7, Holland Page.
And up comes Holland Page.
Page is 1 for 1. Singled and scored in the first, walked and scored in the third, and walked in the fourth. Here he is batting again in the fifth.
This one gets lifted. Schreiber and Besa tracking it. Schreiber snags it to record the out and get you out of the fifth inning. So Westlake, they'll score 2 thanks to Ethan Armbruster with the stand-up double. And 2 RBIs come off it, but it'll leave him stranded at second as the Maroons head into the top of the 6th, down 11-2 when we return.
I'm Hunter Malloy with Prosperity Roofing. Central Texas got hit hard with hail this year, and Prosperity Roofing has been there to pick up the pieces.
My house took some damage in that last hailstorm, and Prosperity Roofing quickly worked directly with my insurance company to replace it with a way better looking roof. They earned my 5-star review. I highly recommend them.
Everything important in your life happens under your roof. Let Prosperity Roofing give your home the roof it deserves.
Welcome back to Westlake. David Roy, James Scott here in the broadcast booth. As Westlake will see Broadhead's night come to a close as we come into the top of the 6th, and Ryland Middlebrook will take his place on the mound.
I believe Ryland DH'd on Tuesday, I believe.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. So good to see him off the mound here.
He will work against Drew Anderson, who will come up to the plate here to get you started in the top of the 6th.
Batting for the Maroons, number 7, Drew Anderson.
11-2 lead here for Westlake as we open up the 6th inning. And Middlebrook will open with a miss outside. And a 1-0 count. Oh, there's a time call, and the umpire came over.
I tell you what,
to
our
say something to Austin High's dugout
talks more smack for a team that is this far under 500. They need to focus more on their own output than jawing with a bunch of guys who are beating them 11-2.
And swing and a miss here from Anderson. And I'm not even sure exactly what it was said that the umpire came over to say something. Coach A waving at him. Of course, I don't know if you saw, I don't know if it was a couple weeks ago in the Auburn baseball game where umpire went and threw out a couple players for rowing the boat, for the row the boat from the dugout side of things. That popped up on my social media feed this morning.
I missed that one.
That he came over and ejected 2 of them.
For rowing the boat in the dugout?
Yeah, from the dugout.
That's
They're
a
all
bit
lined
extreme.
up on the wall and doing the row the boat method as Anderson is walked. And now the umpire coming over and having another conversation with Coach A.
I think we have 1 or 2 guys who do most of the jawing down there, and that needs to be handled. It's an embarrassment to Maroon baseball.
Number 2, Javi, go Dennis.
Coach A threw one of the guys out on his own in San Antonio.
Yeah.
So I don't think he cares much for it either.
Godinez fouls this one away. And this one in there for strike 2. Godinez, I think, thought it was going to stay outside, but it's able to find the back door for Middlebrook. And the 0-2 just misses inside this time. Middlebrook, a little bit more of a sidearm kind of windup here. 1-2 count. That one misses again to even up the count at 2 apiece. Wind up, pitch in there for strike 3, and it will sit Godinez down looking. The 2-2 delivery froze him in his tracks, and up comes Carter Hayden.
Carter Hayden.
Wind up in there. Ball 1. The 1-0 delivered into the zone this time. So Middlebrook, he's a lefty, and he seems to almost be kind of having the same problem, maybe not to the same extent, that Martinez and Martiak had earlier tonight and find in the zone as well, as Carter Hayden fouls this one away.
Well, he's got a lot more leeway
It's
with the
true.
score 11-2. So, maybe he's working on something and dropping down. I haven't known Ryland to be more of a sidearm slinging lefty, but he might be working on getting extra movement. Coaches love those lefties because that ball sometimes can tail.
Firing, and that throw will pull him away from the bag as Anderson slides in there to advance on the stolen base. And a 2-2 count here for Carter Hayden. He's been doing well off the mound, now trying to contribute offensively. And check swing, that'll sit Carter Hayden down on strikes. And that's 2 away with a runner at second. And up comes Osby Contreras.
Contreras drove in those 2 runs of ours. And now is the team leader with RBIs with 12.
He's trying to add to it here.
Be a good time to make 13, to your point.
Wouldn't say no to another RBI single. Wouldn't say no to an RBI double.
Do you want to go RBI triple, RBI home run?
Oh, I mean.
We'll take it any way we can get it, right?
Set a nice low bar and let him clear it. It's okay. Speak it into existence. As he sits down 0-2 here. Look, an RBI triple or a home run, that's just gravy at this point, okay?
Good breaking ball there by Middlebrook.
And got Contreras a swing at it, so we won't get either of what we were asking for, as that will retire the side and sit Contreras down on strikes. It'll leave one stranded as we turn to the bottom of the sixth. Westlake leads 11-2 here from Westlake.
Do you need a haircut? A real haircut? One that's tapered or blocked, clipped or trimmed just the way you like it? Come let the licensed barbers at the Sportsman's Barbershop take care of you. The Sportsman's Barbershop is a friendly, no-frills neighborhood barbershop located in Austin's Brikerwood area. Our barbers specialize in traditional haircuts for men and boys, along with beard trims and straight razor shaves. The trophies and mounts donated by customers that line the barbershop walls serve as testaments to over 60 years of serving Austin. Give the guys a call, 512-459-9525 to schedule your appointment today, or look us up online at sportsmansbarbershop.com. The Sportsman's Barbershop, an Austin institution.
Welcome back in. Here at Westlake, David Roy, James Scott here in the broadcast booth on this beautiful Friday night. Starting to turn into a crisp Friday night here, as it is the last Friday in the month of March. So we appreciate you spending it with us here tonight at Westlake as the Maroons trail 11-2. Do us a favor, you're watching the live stream, like, subscribe. Let us know that you appreciate Maroon baseball and you appreciate us bringing you Maroon baseball. On this lovely Friday night. Of course, next week is the Aiken series for the Maroons, so both games will be spent at Burger Field. Tuesday's game currently on the schedule as a 7 o'clock first pitch.
Oh, he called a ball because it took Westlake so long to get a strike, I'm sorry. It took them so long to get a batter up there. Wait, yeah, the pitch was a ball that he just threw, correct? He called a strike.
So, yes, yes.
He penalized him with the strike to start with.
And either way, they'll ground out over to short and the throw to first. And that's one away.
Good play there by Kenny. Westlake starting to empty their bench. That was Hayashi who hit last, and this is Cooper Sakin.
Not to be confused with the newly renamed Dakin Field over for the Houston Astros.
What do you think of that name?
I think I miss Minute Maid.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't. I mean, they're an air conditioning company, so I mean, what's the train going to be filled with now? AC units?
Baseballs.
Is that what they're doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Big baseballs.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't quite have the same ring. It certainly does not. it certainly no longer, in my opinion, has the same character.
Mm-hmm. It does just feel different.
Correction at the plate.
There is that.
Cooper,
There is
second.
that. I mean, we're in a day and age where the naming rights are paramount. I mean, even across all the stadiums. For those who don't know or maybe don't pay attention, of course, it's been a couple years now, but Heinz Field is no longer Heinz Field. It's now Acrisure Stadium up in Pittsburgh, and the Pittsburgh Steelers took down what made their stadium so characterizing, gave it character, and their great big Heinz ketchup bottle that they used to have up there on display.
So here's a bit of trivia for you as we sit in with a 3-1 count on Cooper Sakin. Oh,
And it'll catch him on the back of the hip, it looked like.
What was the first name of that stadium that is now called Dakin Park? Or Dakin Field, whatever they're calling it now.
Ooh, this is a good question. Trying to go back through.
Play for the Chaps. Number 1, Justice.
Of course, you have to keep in mind, trying to think back through, because it's no longer, because you don't have the Astrodome anymore.
Correct. It was opened in 2000.
Okay.
That was the very first game that was played there.
Okay. Okay. That's a good question. I don't remember.
Enron Field.
Okay. Okay.
Enron Field, and before that, its working title was, we're going to confuse this one with the one at Arlington. God, what they call it? The ballpark at Union Station. Was
Okay,
the working
yes,
title
that's right. That's right.
Before they came up with a naming rights with Enron for $30 million over 30 years, by the way.
Yeah.
And that lasted about 18 months.
Yeah. You see how quickly that changes. Well, and the other part of it, too, we talk about it, I think Minute Maid still had a couple years left on their deal before Houston said, we're canceling it and we're going to give it over to Dakin, as this is going to get fielded over by Bodie Martiak, floated right over to him, drifted a little bit. He drifted towards center, but is able to record the out.
Yeah, that ball was hit way up there, though. Way up there. So Peyton Luther still in the game.
Carter Hayden's still working off the mound. Does have a runner in scoring position, but thanks to Bodie Martiak, has one away. This gets lifted for Drew Anderson to field. And Anderson will snag it, but the runner
Yes. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Sorry.
It's third out.
It was the third out.
I love that pregnant pause, though. I was waiting.
You were waiting on it. So it'll leave him stranded, and that'll take us in to the top of the 7th. Maroons trail 11-2 when we return. You're watching Maroon Baseball here on the Vibe Live Network.
Maroon Baseball is supported by Austin's oldest independently run pharmacy, Terrytown Pharmacy. Founded in 1941, Terrytown Pharmacy has been family owned and operated since 1950, and the Newberry family is loyal forever. Visit Terrytown for great customer service, incredible gifts, and necessities. If you haven't transferred your prescriptions yet, give them a call. Thank you, Terrytown Pharmacy, for your consistent annual support of Maroon Athletics. Terrytown Pharmacy, online at terrytownpharmacy.com.
Welcome back here to Westlake. Not quite as glamorous as Dakin Park. But no less fun here to be had tonight, especially if you're a fan of Westlake. As in pinch hitting is Gage Pitt, and he will foul this one away here in the top of the 7th. So a 1-1 count for Pitt here as we get going. And Middlebrook puts that one well outside for a 2-1. Pitt does not chase. Fletcher Wilson is on deck. And the 2-1 finds his own for strike 2 for Gage Pitt.
To finish the thought on Dakin Park and Minute Maid Park and Enron Field, we'll wait till after this pitch.
As Pitt lifts this, it'll be foul territory.
So once Enron went under as a company, and before Minute Maid Park, or it became Minute Maid Park, and they signed the naming agreements, what was it a field called?
Oh.
I will be very impressed if you know this.
I definitely don't think I know this. I only know that it went from Enron to Minute Maid.
I think it might have been for a season or a part of a season, but it was known as Astros Field. How generic can you be?
This gets fouled off here by Pitt, so he continues to battle here with a full count. Middlebrook embattled. I think it was only for the one season that it was Astros Field.
Yeah.
I don't think it went more than one. As Pitt has walked.
There you go, Gage Pitt.
So puts a runner on here. In the top of the 7th with Fletcher Wilson stepping to the plate.
Fletcher has a home run this year.
Fletcher Wilson.
Now would be a good time for another one. Let
One
him
at a
tie up
time.
with Henry Shooter.
Sure. Well, that's true, too.
Don't want to be outdone by Shooter. I mean, come on. He wants to tie that up. He will go down in the count 0-1. Luke Whalen, by the way, is on deck. Here behind Fletcher Wilson, who sits down in the count 0-2. Pitt at first, and this one way outside for Middlebrook. And a 1-2 count. Wind up, Middlebrook. This is fouled back into the netting. And so Fletcher Wilson continues to work here at the plate. And Fletcher Wilson will foul off the 1-2 pitch. Still working through that arm discomfort, but
yeah, not impacting his swing.
No.
Middlebrook looking at 33 pitch right here, first strike.
Able to fit that in there for strike 3. That'll put one away and bring to the plate Luke Whalen with Gage Pitt at first. On deck in behind him, Charlie Dice. And Whalen drives this over to third. A throw back to first is in time, and a quick double play. Gage Pitt maybe took off a bit too early and allowed for the throw over to first to get them both out.
Yeah, nothing you can do there. Luke hit that ball hard, and it just happened to be right at him, and you can't do anything if you're Gage because your natural reaction is going to be to go.
Yeah. I mean, contact was made, goes to take off, and just a better play on the Westlake side of things, and overall tonight, just better for Westlake in general. I'll get you the final numbers here on your screen, and Westlake comes up with the win here tonight, 11-2, and they will sweep the Maroons, winning both on Tuesday night and then again here tonight, and just not much to be said from Tuesday night to tonight other than, both Martinez and Martiak struggled early on trying to find their rhythm and trying to find it, and unfortunately tonight it just was not their night. They go to Henry Shooter, able to kind of get them out of the pinch, and then Carter Hayden, give him credit, looked really good down the stretch throughout the remainder of the night. And it's just, it's not the outcome that Austin High wanted, certainly not the outcome they needed. And for Austin High, just not much more to be said about it. On a night like this, against a team like this, it's just, I think, a matter of you got out-talented by Westlake, and that's about all there is to say on it.
Yeah, no, 100%. That's exactly what's happened. You got to tip your hat to Westlake. They have better players right now than what we are. And, I don't know that anybody would logically disagree with that. Now, I did just check, and Dripping Springs did beat Bowie 2-1. So that game looks like it just ended. So I believe Dripping Springs took both games from Bowie. So with that, we're still one game behind Bowie. And Del Valley is playing who? Lake Travis? I think that's right.
Yes, that's what we said, is they're playing Lake Travis. We'll bring up for you here those standings. Give everybody the full scope and picture of the district.
So what we have to do right now is just go take care of business against Lake Travis. Against Aikens next week. And if we do that, we are going to need some help to get, into the playoffs, no doubt about it. But if we do that, that's basically all we can do.
Yeah, that's you're going to have to do at this point of the season with the Aikens series coming up next week. You still have the Bowie series on docket. You have to sweep both of those. Mm-hmm. In an ideal world, you could sweep Lake Travis. Now, again, in an ideal world, right? Yeah. In an ideal world,
that's why you play
realistically, I think if you can get away with catching Lake Travis off guard in the same way you caught off guard Dripping Springs last week and steal one and split the series, and then you just need somebody ahead of you, preferably Del Valley, I think, namely Del Valley, to drop a few maybe that they shouldn't down the stretch. I think you're in a good spot playoff-wise. You see Austin High there on your screen sitting in behind and just not quite in the spot that I think that you would like them to be.
Well, the getting swept by Del Valley was a crusher. So we're going to need some help to get there. If you map our path to the playoffs out going into the season, it was not winning the series against Dripping Springs, Lake Travis, or Westlake. We made up for one of those two losses against Del Valley with the win against Dripping Springs. So we are going to need some help to get into the playoffs. So our hope is that both Del Valley and Bowie sort of lose out. We have to take care of our own business. We have to go beat Aikens next week. We have to take care of business against Bowie. And if we do those two things and Del Valley loses, because remember they have the tiebreaker against us, we can still capture that fourth spot.
So the road ahead is not an easy one, and it all starts next week with Austin High doing their part, and they're going to have to break out the brooms of their own and sweep Aikens. That'll start on Tuesday. First pitch currently scheduled for 7 o'clock from Burger Field on a Tuesday night. That'll do it for us here tonight on behalf of our entire broadcast crew. Skylar Gillespie, of course, our quality control assistant back at home. And, of course, Miss Lulu being on our cameras here for us tonight. Fatima, of course, our producer. And on behalf of my broadcast partner, James Scott, this is David Roy. Have a good weekend, everyone. We'll see you back Tuesday night at 7 o'clock for first pitch. Austin High versus Aikens, live from Burger Field. We'll see you then.